Shalom, brothers. Welcome back to the Set Apart Man, the channel where we teach men how to live set apart, how to be more obedient to the word of the Most High Yahweh, and how to navigate this wicked world according to righteousness. You know, man, in today's video, I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this. I'm going to catch a lot of heat for this. But the word says, prepare your soul for persecution. Man, today, I want to tell men why if you are worth your weight in gold, you are, i.e., a good man according to righteousness, you probably should avoid 99% of single mothers. Man, it has nothing to do with their education, has nothing to do with them having their own stuff, you know, them being successful in their career. It has nothing to do with that. But I'm going to give you 7 reasons why you should avoid 99% of them. I'm not saying that all of them are bad, but when we look through the lens that I'm talking about today, you might understand where I'm coming from in the fact that if you were to vet 100 of them, there might only be one that's worth your time. Roll that footage.
So I had a man today ask me if I was ready for a serious relationship. So to answer that, my aunt suggested this, to start to say, yeah, I'm serious. I'm serious for somebody to take care of my mortgage. I'm serious for someone to take me on vacation. I'm serious about meeting someone that wants to pay a car note and my insurance, that wants to pay my phone bill, my electricity, my internet, that wants to pay for me to get my hair, nails, and lashes done when I want to get them done. Seriously ready for somebody to put gas in my car every Sunday. I'm seriously ready for somebody that wants to be a stepdaddy. Well, real daddy these days. I don't believe in step. I'm seriously ready for a man that doesn't want other men, because that's a Houston thing. I'm seriously ready for a man who's about that life. So I think that as a man, before you ask someone, are you ready for a serious relationship, think about what serious actually means and define it. Because for me, serious means I'm ready for someone to come in and actually be that HNIC that I need for him to be. So I'm literally just getting off work. And I asked my kid's father if he can go half and half with me to help pay for my kids' costs so they can, have some fun activities to do for the summertime. One of my baby daddy said that he will pay for his kids' cost of the activities that we're going to go do. So I'm literally just getting off work. And I asked my kid's father if he can go half and half with me to help pay for my kids' costs so they can, have some fun activities to do for the summertime. One of my baby daddy said that he will pay for his kids' cost of the activities that we're going to go do. The other one just flat out told me no. So now I am about to go apply for some places. Specifically, I'm looking for a job where I can get money like right then and there. The other one just flat out told me no. So now I am about to go apply for some places. Specifically, I'm looking for a job where I can get money like right then and there. So I'm about to go apply for some serving positions to see if I can get hired and just to see if I can make, some extra money so my other kids are able to attend and do something fun for the summer. I just kind of feel terrible because they've been in the house majority of the time and I want them to be able to have something to do like on my days where I am off. I just want them all to be able to do something fun. Okay, so I literally just came from the first place, and they said that they were hiring, so I'm going to go ahead and put an application online. Now I'm about to head over to this other place to see if they're hiring. Okay, y'all. So I just came from the next location, and I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm super excited. They said that they were hiring. They said that they were looking for people from 8 to maybe 3 o'clock, and then they had some other times. So I'm just going to see how I can fit that in on my schedule. But they did say that they are hiring, and they said they are looking for somebody ASAP. They took my information down, so that's a good thing. So now all I'm going to do is kind of I'm going home. I'm sorry. It is literally like 90 degrees. I am like literally hot in my car, and I don't really want to run my air because the way my gas is looking a little bit low. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to finish this tomorrow, but I am super excited that this one job, because I've been eyeing this job for a minute, just never went over there, but hopefully I do hear something back. I'll keep you guys updated. Like I said, I'm going to do whatever I got to do in order for my kids to have an amazing summer. And even if that means I got to work 2 jobs, baby, I'm going to get it done. Long story short, I am a single mom, and my son's father has not been in the picture since my son was very young. He's been gone for so long that it's like I made my son by myself. Today we're sitting in the car, and somehow we got on a conversation of like marriage and dad, because I like watching like romantic videos and movies, and my son was just like, I wonder when that's going to happen for us. Like talking about family. And I always tell him like we're our own family, but I understand what he's saying because I do want that for us too. I want us to have that male figure in our life that is like an amazing role model for him, an amazing partner for me. And then he said, I can't wait to call someone dad again. I didn't immediately lose it, but that really hit my heart. I am still trying to wrap my head around the fact that I have to build relationships at this grown age of 31 years old, platonic and romantic, and I cannot wrap. I'm literally talking to this right now. I'm like, I don't know how we're gonna navigate through this. This is not something I saw for myself, and I didn't have to expect to be doing this at this grown ass age. Okay, I didn't expect to be doing this in my 30s, and I fear it's kind of like really hitting me. And I'm like, no, actually, how are we supposed to create friendships, create community? I can't even fathom dating for real, but being extroverted and also knowing that we're not, made to be isolated and that we're built for connection and we all need companionship. I'm like, how is this going to play out for real? Because at some point, I'm like, God, we're going to have friends, right? Like at some point, I'm sure I'm going to have a man again. Like I can't imagine just living the rest of my life like truly solo dolo, but at the same time, I can, because it's all. I'll tell you why there's such a struggle right now for the single mother. One, society does not support single mother. There used to be this thing like, oh, you're a single mother, let us help you. Nobody cares anymore. But the biggest thing that people don't talk about is fewer and fewer men are willing to be stepdads. One of the biggest family secrets has always been that oldest child does not belong to him. That oldest child does not belong to him. Everybody knows it but the oldest child. And there are fewer and fewer men that are willing to sign up for it. And I do believe it's because of child support laws. And it just takes a lot of money. I keep posting these videos because I hope that I save at least one young lady. Because once you become a baby mama, you will probably most likely die a baby mama in today's society. These men are not for it anymore.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave like everyone else. You were born into bondage. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
All praise to the Most High Yahweh Shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another Righteous Ruach Spirit-filled episode. Today I'm back at it in them trenches with another episode of The Set Apart Man. Man, I want you to understand that this epidemic that we're seeing of these women who want men to be subservient, who want to have authority over a man, and the man is supposed to submit to them and do what it is that they want them to do. You're not looking at women who are single mothers by way of being widows, meaning they were married and their husbands have died. We're not looking at that. We're looking at a bunch of women who had children out of wedlock and are looking for a man to take in their bastard children. That's the reality of what we're looking at. You know, man, I'm going to talk on a level of adulthood that a lot of men need to hear because, 99% of them all want the same thing. Their mouth is going to say one thing, but their actions are going to show another. And it's very important that you not choose her based off of your flesh, because they know how to manipulate you according to your flesh. It's very important that you discern them based upon their spiritual condition. Man, are they ready to be what the Most High Yah asked a woman to be, or commanded or instructed a woman to be? And that right there should be the starting point. But without further ado, man, I need every brother out there watching this to smash that like button. Hit the like button to help this video get further in the algorithm. That way more men can hear this wisdom that I'm dropping. And then secondly, subscribe to the Set Apart Man YouTube channel. Secondly, subscribe to the Set Apart Man channel. Turn your notifications to all notifications. That way you don't miss a single video. Thirdly, answer the question in the comments, man. What issues have you had as a man, pursuing a single mother and wanting to make her a wife, taking her from a single mother, taking her from being a single woman to giving her the title of wife? And married men, let me know in the comments what you're experiencing. And you'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised your insight could help men, avoid a major stumbling block in their life. First of all, this channel is called The Set Apart Man. And I know I have women out there that are monitoring just to see what's going on over here, and my analytics show it. But let me let you know on this Set Apart Man channel, man, I only respond to men. If you're coming here with some of that foolishness, thinking that I'm telling men to avoid all, no, I'm saying avoid 99% of you. The 1% woman, is not out here making videos and TikToks about the foolishness that we saw in the clips that I played. She's somewhere handling her business. And that is the woman that good men should entertain. But for the rest that are rebellious, have a backwards way of thinking, that are delusional, that want a man to be a helpmeet and to be subservient to you, man, good luck posting in the comments, because 1, you'll get blocked. 2, I'll delete your comment. And 3, I'll leave you on red. That's how we deal with that over here. Man, I'm going to give you 7 reasons why 99% of single mothers will make horrible wives. Reason number 1, when you think about arguing, you are going to experience a woman who argues to a different level. When it comes to arguing, she's on 10. And you would be looking at her after you have provided all of the biblical evidence, all of the facts according to logic, statistics, and she's still going to double down in her foolishness. You're not going to get any rest. You're not going to your peace will be disrupted. You'll come home tired. And rather than being a helpmeet, rather than being a Proverbs 31, she has been attacked spiritually all day. And then she wants to pass that attack on you. She's going to be launching that attack on you. And it's going to come by way of argument. She doesn't know how to put the shut to the up. Even when even when she is dead to rights and she knows she's dead wrong, and even when she knows she's dead wrong, she's not going to stop. She's going to continue. She's going to add, salt and lemon juice to a wound. You're already tired and stressed out, and she's going to double down in her arguing. Okay? Reason number 2, man, she will blame rather than reflecting. She's got that victim mindset. The reason she's in this boat, she's in not because she opened her legs and had bastard children by a man that didn't want to marry her. She's going to blame the man every time. This is the reason why, it's your fault. It's the other man's fault. It's multiple men's fault that she didn't have these children with. She's going to blame instead of reflecting on her own decisions. She's going to showcase her unaccountability. Reason number 3, man, you will entertain this woman thinking you're a good man and you're going to provide and protect. And secretly, she doesn't have the mindset or the spiritual nature to be a helpmeet. She wants to be the authority figure, over the man. And she wants this subservient husband who is going to help her out. She's looking for the man to be the helpmeet when woman was called to be the helpmeet. So she's going to compete with you. Nothing you do is good enough in her eyes, because she wants to go out and one up you. We know what it's like as men to have a friend that will just lie to make up stuff to one up you. Well, she's going to do the same thing with competing with you. Rather than, being a part of the assignment, helping you fulfill your mission, which is the job of a helpmeet, helping you fear the Most High and keep the commandments. No, she's going to be out there trying to get her own points. She's going to be out there trying to get her own points on the board. You're the home team. She's the away team. There's always going to be that rivalry there with 99% of them. Number 4, when you think about their constant need for validation, she's going to fight you on, getting rid of these male friends who are just orbiting around. She's going to fight you on the stuff that she posts on social media. Worse than just the rebellious woman with no kids. It's going to be even worse. Okay? She seeks constant attention. Your attention and validation alone will never be enough for 99% of them. This is the reason why they have to flaunt themselves out there, because secretly they know you may not deal with their BS and they need to have another opportunity on the back burner ready to go. So she seeks constant validation from everywhere else except from you. Everywhere outside of the marriage, outside of the relationship, outside of the covenant. And you think you're supposed to go above and beyond, but you're making a mistake, because her thirst for validation outside of the relationship, you'll never be able to quench. Reason number 5, man, 99% of them will use emotions to manipulate. That's already something that women do, but she's going to do it even better. This is it. When you think about single mother, she's going to, in the middle of an argument, when she knows she's losing, she's going to cry. She's going to break down to try to get you to console, to comfort her, and she knows she's dead wrong. She's doing this to avoid repentance, to avoid accountability. She's doing this to avoid saying she was wrong and she needs to do better. She really doesn't want to look in the mirror. So what does she use? She uses her manipulation, and also as well, add on to it, sex. Oftentimes they'll be freaky well before, if you are foolish enough to fornicate with them. But when you get into that, when you tie the knot and you enter into that covenant with them, you're going to wonder why that freak that she was prior to, that your flesh loved, you're no longer getting that in the bedroom. She secured the provisions by way of enticing you with sex. Reason number 6, gets offended easily. Man, you say anything in correction as being a leader, being the head over her, being the authority figure over her, about her and those children, about how to, the way that she should go, the way that those children goes, she's going to take it as an attack. She's not going to see it as help. She's going to be easily offended at righteous guidance, at divine wisdom that you're offering as the leader in the home. She's going to rebel against structure because her herself has had children outside of the Most High Yah's structure. She's going to be very offended to truth. She's going to operate in a state of delusion. 99% of them. Let me break this down and tell you why I say 99%. Man, when the preacher looked amongst 1,000 people, biblically, man, he only found one righteous man. And amongst that, he found no righteous women. That should tell you something. Virtuous women are already rare. And when a woman has shown you that she has, not had virtue in the past, men, you need to discern this. You need to ponder on this, because that's a good indicator of what you're getting. Past decisions are a good indicator of somebody's future decision. If somebody has been strung out on crack for the past 5 days, tomorrow it's a good indicator that, man, all signs show that they're going to be strung out on crack tomorrow too. Reason number 7. Man, if you look at her screen time is going to be abnormally high. Rather than getting in there, being a helpmeet, being the domestic wife that you need her to be, helping you fulfill your mission as a man, her screen time is going to be high because she's entertaining women that are not married, but telling her that love should be perfect. Meanwhile, they're not telling her that in order for there to be any kind of love coming from her aspect, she has to obey and respect you as a man. So she'll think she's entitled to all of this provision, all of this protection, all of this leadership, meanwhile obeying nothing that you direct her or instruct her in. She has this fairy tale concept of love, and when she doesn't get it in a relationship, she will jump ship. She will jump ship to find out that the grass is not greener on the other side. And men, this is specifically towards women that left a man and took the children, left a good situation and took the children, left a marriage. They can't tell you that there was anything their husband ever did, anything he did wrong. He wasn't a good man, but somehow she's the victim. This is where you're going to find that she's looking for a perfect love, but she's looking for the kind of, when you think about the word, it says, for this is the love of Yahweh, that we obey his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome or grievous. She wants a perfect love without submission, without obedience, without reverence, without esteeming you highly. Men, if you are worth your weight in gold and you desire a wife, man, I'm telling you, man, there's less than 1% of these single mothers out there. And the clips that I've shown you, today prove it. If you were to vet 100 single mothers, man, there may be one that's worth your time, worth you entertaining, worth you pouring into. But behind the scenes, this is what men that have taken on a single mother wife, and their flesh has allowed them to enter into an agreement with them, and they didn't use spiritual discernment. Everything that I listed today, those 7 things: argues to prove she right, blames instead of reflecting, competes with her husband, seeks constant attention, uses emotions to manipulate, gets offended easily, thinks love should be perfect. This is what you're going to deal with. And it's all going to be exacerbated and magnified because of her past decisions. One thing we don't hear is we don't hear men giving a good testimony. We hardly hear men that marry women with no children giving a good testament that they are good wives, because we're dealing with a generation of women that haven't been raised and reared to be doggone virtuous wives. So you're not hearing testimonies of a man say, yeah, man, and I took a single mom in and she had 4 children and she's the best helpmeet ever. She's so righteous and so virtuous. No, we're not seeing that. We're seeing single mothers showcase their own rebellion, 99% of them. And then there is the 1% that you don't see posting TikTok videos and foolishness, and they're somewhere being everything they need to for a man because they don't want to lose the provisions, the blessing, the covering that they have been able to secure only by way of righteousness. Once again, this is the Set Apart Man, kicking that thing gun barrel straight. And until next time, stay set apart, stay disciplined, and stay in the word of Yahweh.